Charles Grant was a name whispered with awe in the business world. A self-made billionaire with a net worth north of $15 billion, he was a man who had risen from the depths of poverty to unimaginable wealth. But what truly set Charles apart wasn't his fortune, it was his humility. Charles believed in walking among people without revealing his status, finding joy in the simple things. He had no entourage, no flashy displays of wealth, and no need to flaunt his success. On a cool autumn morning, Charles decided to step out to shop for a new pair of shoes. His old ones, though sturdy, had started to wear out after years of use. He enjoyed the feel of downtown, people hurrying about their day, street musicians playing soft melodies, and the chatter of life around him. Dressed in a modest gray overcoat, faded jeans, and a flat cap, Charles walked into an upscale shoe store he had noticed the week before. The store, Finest Soul, was a pristine establishment. Rows of polished leather shoes gleamed under bright lights, and soft classical music played in the background. The store catered to an affluent clientele, evident from the prices displayed on the tags. But Charles wasn't one to judge things by price tags. He had learned the value of hard work and saving from his late mother, who had raised him on a minimum wage job after his father passed away. Charles quietly walked over to a display of handcrafted Italian leather shoes. He ran his hand over the smooth surface, admiring the craftsmanship. The shoes reminded him of a pair his mother had bought for him when he graduated from college, a pair she had saved for months to afford. "Can I help you?" a sharp voice interrupted his thoughts. Charles turned to see a young salesman, probably in his early 20s, with perfectly styled hair and an air of arrogance. His name tag read, Todd. "Yes," Charles replied with a warm smile. "I'd like to try this pair in size 10, please." Todd's eyes swept over Charles from head to toe, his expression betraying a mix of disbelief and disdain. "Sir, these are part of our luxury collection. Perhaps you'd like to look at something more affordable?" he said, gesturing vaguely toward the back of the store. Charles's smile faltered for a moment, but he remained calm. "I'd still like to try these," he said politely. Todd sighed dramatically, as though the request was a burden. "Are you sure? These cost more than $2,000. "I'm sure," Charles replied firmly. The interaction had caught the attention of a few other customers and staff members. Charles could feel their eyes on him, but he maintained his composure. Todd returned a moment later, holding the shoes. He placed them on the floor in front of Charles with a look that screamed condescension. "Try them on," he said curtly. Charles sat down and slipped on the shoes. They fit perfectly. He stood up, walked a few steps, and nodded appreciatively. "I'll take them," he said. Todd blinked, clearly taken aback. "Are you serious?" Charles raised an eyebrow. "Why wouldn't I be?" Todd hesitated, then smirked. "Well, we'll see if your card goes through." By now, the store manager, Evelyn, had noticed the commotion. A seasoned professional in her mid-40s, Evelyn prided herself on running a store known for its exceptional customer service. She approached just as Todd was ringing up the shoes. "Is everything all right here?" Evelyn asked, looking between Charles and Todd. "Yes, just handling this sale," Todd replied dismissively. But Evelyn wasn't convinced. She could sense the tension in the air and decided to stay close. Todd swiped Charles's card with a smug expression, clearly expecting it to be declined. When the payment went through without a hitch, his face fell. Charles calmly collected his receipt and the bag containing his new shoes. Before leaving, he turned to Todd. "Young man," he said, his voice steady but tinged with disappointment, "never judge a book by its cover. You never know the story of the person standing in front of you." With that, Charles walked out of the store, leaving Todd standing there, stunned. Later that day, Evelyn decided to look up Charles's name out of curiosity. What she found left her speechless. Articles, interviews, and accolades painted a picture of a man who had transformed entire communities with his philanthropy. Charles Grant wasn't just a billionaire, he was a legend. The next morning, Evelyn called an emergency staff meeting. She recounted the incident from the previous day, emphasizing the importance of treating every customer with respect, regardless of their appearance. Todd, embarrassed and humbled, apologized profusely. But the story didn't end there. A few weeks later, Charles returned to the store, not as a customer, but as an investor. He had heard about Evelyn's efforts to address the situation and admired her commitment to bettering her team. Charles offered to partner with the store, providing funding to expand their business and train their staff in customer relations. Under Charles's mentorship, Finest Soul grew into a nationwide brand known not only for its quality products, but also for its exceptional service. Todd, who had stayed on despite his initial mistake, underwent a complete transformation. He became one of the store's top salesmen, often sharing the story of the billionaire nobody knew as a lesson in humility and kindness. Charles's legacy extended far beyond his wealth. Through his actions, he reminded everyone he encountered that true success isn't measured by what you have, but by how you treat others. If this story inspired you, make sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more motivational tales that will make you think. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Let us know how this story impacted you, and if you've ever experienced a moment of judgment that turned into a lesson. Together, we can spread kindness and positivity, one story at a time.